to Angela, but I call her Yee. Way up.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. B-Dot's here.
My name's B-Dot.
That's right.
Woo, woo.
What's going on, Angela?
Oh, my goodness. Next week, we're a week away from Thanksgiving.
Damn. Where did a year go?
You think so? You know, around this time, 20 years ago, the week of Thanksgiving is when I first started doing radio.
Wow.
That's serious.
Damn, 20 years.
I would never forget that because I was so nervous. And I worked for I just remember working 3 days and having those 2 days off, like Thanksgiving and Friday.
Right.
But being like, I cannot wait because I didn't know what I was doing. Right. I was like, what's happening here? It was like a tough 3 days for me.
How are you going to celebrate Thanksgiving this year?
I'll be at home. My family's coming over the day after. Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother story because, yeah, that's going to be a lot for me.
I'll be there with a plate in hand.
There'll be plenty of food.
Thank you.
All right. Well, today we have Carlos Watson joining us. Are you aware of who Carlos Watson is?
No, I'm not, but you're going to inform me.
Have you ever heard of Ozzy Media?
Yes, I have.
All right. Do you remember it was like this whole big scandal and he ended up getting found guilty of, basically fraud. Like,
wow.
Yeah, he was raising money, and it was this whole thing with this phone call, Goldman Sachs. He's facing up to 37 years in prison, basically, is what we're getting to. But anyway, he's going to be calling us today.
Okay.
We couldn't see him in person because he's on house arrest. But, it's a very important story. He was convicted, but he's talking about the judge had these conflicts. Feels like a whole conspiracy. A person wrote an article in the New York Times. It was an expose. They were somehow involved. It's just a lot. So we're going to talk to Carlos Watson today. But let's start the show off. And I know you want to shine a light.
Yes.
So when we come back, B-Dot's going to shine a light on somebody. And then you're going to shine a light and spread some love. It's Way Up.
I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
It's that time. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. B-Dot's here.
My name's B-Dot.
Yes, I am.
B-Dot, who you want to shine a light on first of all?
I want to shine a light on my kid, man. Yes.
Okay.
She got straight A's on her report card. She's in the 6th grade.
You sure that's your kid?
Yes. Listen, when I was her age, all I got was straight ass whoopings for bad grades.
I saw your report card.
Yeah,
you showed
right.
me.
You want to see it again?
It wasn't too good. She got straight A's.
Straight A's. And she also made the cheerleading team, so I'm really proud of her.
Wow, you made the cheerleading team. No.
Look at my report card, Angela.
Let me see. Let's look at this report card that I can't believe you had. Ooh.
A lot of D, doing
you
fines.
Had a 5?
That was a 55.
No, I see a 5 on here.
Yikes.
I see a 55, a 60, 60.
Yeah.
You didn't even break 75 in gym?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That was a dark time.
Well, shout out to your daughter. What's her name?
I don't want to say because people are crazy. But, she knows who she is.
Well, she's cute. I like when you FaceTime her.
Yes. She's a great
And she
great
tries
kid.
to hide her face.
Yes.
And then she's like, okay. All right. Well, congratulations to you. A straight A student. Definitely the apple falls really far from the tree. Now, Valentine, who do you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine a light on myself because I just wrote a book. And the name of my book is called My Black Vote Doesn't Matter.
Ooh.
And let's talk about stuff that happened through voting history and things that we have to go through when it comes to voting. And this book also, since I discussed Breakfast Club, I discussed you in the book because I believe that you all are very influential when it comes to us as black people, when it comes to voting and paying more attention. Mm-hmm. So this book is very important.
Your black vote doesn't matter. That sounds, okay. You voted though, right?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, definitely I voted.
Okay.
I'm hurt right now, Trust me, I'm very hurt.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, thank you for calling.
Yeah,
Shine a light on you,
so
Valentine.
Yes, man, I appreciate it.
That was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, we love to hear from you. You can leave a message for last word. And when we come back, we have your Yeetie. Lil Baby graduated from Harvard. What, B-Dot?
Nothing.
All right, we're going to talk about it. It's Way Up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip.
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to him.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. B-Dot's here.
My name's B-Dot.
Thank you, J. Cole.
All right, let's get into some Yeetie. So Antonio Brown was on Carisha Please, and the teaser is out. Man,
that's going to be
it'll be interesting to see what this whole interview is like. But here is what went down on this teaser. Definitely felt like he was shooting his shot.
You want to get married?
Why you want to marry me?
No.
So you ready to give me a shot?
So how many kids you got?
7.
How many baby mamas?
I got all of them. I got CTE, man.
Ha, CTE. That's always an excuse.
I know, right? Because people really believe that. I mean, it's a real thing. Quite a real thing, and he might be serious.
Look at his hair. Jeez.
All right. Well, Bow Wow, Omarion, Trey Songz are going to be headlining the Millennium Tour.
Oh, they're back.
That's coming back March 7th. Also on that ticket, Plies, Boosie, Yin Yang Twins, Ray J, Sammy, Bobby V, Pleasure P, Nivea, and special guest Rick Ross.
That's a booked bill right there.
I know. That's going to be a full night of activities.
Right.
By the way, speaking of Nivea, have you seen Eat, Slay, Love on Peacock?
I have not.
That's the show with her, with Tammy Rivera, and with her, Tammy Rivera, and Eva Marcel.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, got to check it out. They actually went to Vietnam.
Oh.
And that was the trip that they took. Someplace I would never have thought, let's go visit Vietnam. But honestly, it's really interesting to see. I love shows that show you other people's culture.
Right.
That's why I like 90 Day Fiance. Moving right along.
That's like a tourist destination. Let's go to Vietnam.
But that's what I liked about it. It's something that you would never think.
Right.
All right, Coachella, that lineup has also been announced. So headlining Lady Gaga. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Green Day.
All right.
Post Malone. Travis Scott designs the desert.
What? Can you get some brothers on the wall, Sal? Jeez Louise. We're the rappers.
Travis Scott.
Designing the desert, what does that mean?
What is Travis Scott designs the desert?
Yeah, what is
he's
that?
He's a special guest. He's the artistic director, but he's going to debut a new era of music on both weekends of the festival. And he's also bringing Cactus Jack to the desert for a one-of-a-kind immersive takeover.
So he's like the interior decorator.
I don't know exactly what this means, but speaking of a packed bill, I mean, here you go.
Thank you.
That's the packed bill for you right there.
Jeez.
So you have a chance to see.
Dang, it's like no rappers. Like Missy Elliott's on here, so that's good.
Let's see who else. Megan Thee Stallion's on there.
Megan Thee
T-Pain's on
Stallion.
there. 3 6 Mafia. Charlie X. Oh well, that's not really a rapper.
Yeah.
All right. Glorilla.
Glorilla. Okay, we love Glorilla.
Yeah. Mustard.
Okay.
Ty Dolla $ign. Shabuzi.
They're gonna have like 2-minute sets.
All right. Well, anyway, Little Baby, congratulations. He graduated from Harvard.
What?
Yes, he's really excited. He's posting about it. And listen, back in March, V's went on Instagram to show his love and support for him for going back to school. He said, my twin really went back to get his degree at Harvard. So proud of my brother. So
It's like a certificate, right?
it's a degree in business administration.
Oh, so it's like a certificate then. I don't think it's accredited.
Well, I'm sure from what I've heard, because I do know people who took that course, and so do you.
Yeah.
It does teach you a lot. Remember, Swizz was very excited
Right.
about it, and the people that he met taking that course.
Okay.
You know,
I don't want to mitigate anyone's
maybe you should take the
accomplishments.
course before you can say anything.
Yes, maybe I do. Now he's got to get a job.
It's like College Hill. All right, and LL Cool J, he said he was the first to wear Air Jordans when it comes to hip hop. All right, and he said Michael Jordan was a rookie. Here's what he had to say.
I can't take credit for everything, of course not, because hip-hop did so much for me. But what I can say is I made a reasonable contribution to the culture. I mean, even my first album cover, I had the Jordan sneakers on when he was a rookie. I was the first person with the Jordans on the radio album cover. Everybody was wearing Adidas and Pumas, bro.
That's true.
Okay.
Look at Queens.
Look at
setting
it.
trends all over again.
That picture aged well, because that whole outfit that he has on, you
Yeah.
can wear to this day.
I'll wear that later.
Yeah, you're going to wear that today. All right, well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have About Last Night. I was out and about last night.
What were you doing?
I got an award.
Hey.
We're going to talk about it. It's way up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
All right, it's way up with Angela Yee. I'm here. My guy B-Dot's here with
My
me.
name's B-Dot.
That's right.
So what did you do last night?
I was recovering because the night prior I went out to a record room out here in Queens and had a nice night. So I was just chilling.
Okay.
What you do?
Well, I was actually at a benefit gala.
Okay.
57th anniversary benefit gala for Bedford-Stuyvesant Restoration Corporation. So Bed-Stuy Restoration Plaza is where I actually started doing Angela Yee Day. So I did it there for a couple of years before we ended up moving to the Barclays. The mayor was there last night speaking, Mayor Eric Adams.
Of course. he'll go to an envelope opening.
Well, I will say, Senator Kevin Parker, there were a lot of senators in the room, a lot of council people, but Restoration Plaza, for people who don't know what they do, it's huge for development in Bed-Stuy. There's like all kinds of job training, opportunities, funding. They have they have theaters, they have a lot of stuff there that I think is really important.
Yeah.
So the stuff that they do in the community, he should be there.
Right. Of course.
Yeah, what's the problem?
He's just outside too much, man. He's a promoter.
Okay, well, anyway, something like this I thought was amazing, and it was a beautiful room to be in. So shout out to everybody who also got their awards as well. I thought it was, I actually had to get up and make my speech. There was 4 of us that got awards last night.
Okay.
My girl Nicole Hannah-Jones was there.
Okay.
From the 1619 Project. So shout out to her and congratulations.
Did you shout me out in your speech?
JP Morgan Chase, shout out to Lisk. No, I did not.
Damn.
Because, I mean, for what? But things like this are really important to the community. And I was telling them in my speech how I had came up with an idea earlier in the morning of things that I want to do. Because it's all about closing the racial wealth gap, right? And so that's what this is about, being financially literate. And I really want to do this, the Eat Out. And I know you thought it was a good idea, but it was so funny because I mentioned it in my speech, how we always have to have ideas and always be trying to think of things. And a lot of times I always come up with ideas. It's just implementing those ideas sometimes are hard, but it feels like this one is taking on a life of its own.
Yes, the Eat Out. I'm excited.
And we're going to make sure that people do it like in different cities. So I'm ready to get it started.
I'm ready to
So
eat
anybody, the Eat Out, the whole point of it is to support these restaurants on off nights. So you know how like the weekends could be popular, brunch is popular, but then on a random Tuesday or Wednesday night, it's a little dead sometimes. Well, let's make sure that we pick a different restaurant and everybody goes out and supports this restaurant for that day, and we do a different restaurant, every week.
I'm a fast just for it.
Yes, so I'm excited for that. But anyway, that was my About last night. So thank you to Blondell. Thank you to everybody who came out to support. These things are amazing. They managed to raise quite a bit of money. JP Morgan Chase gave them $300,000 in funding because of the work they do. It's a nonprofit.
Wow.
All right, we're talking about housing, economic development, financial literacy, all of those things. All right, well, when we come back, I want to talk about this newest episode of Lip Service. Black China and, Angela White. Angela White and her fiance, Derek Milano. They were on the show. They're also on Love and Hip Hop right now. And they were talking about how they met. And they met through a work relationship. He's a producer. She was going to the studio to work. And here's what they said. Who liked who first? Like, who knew first that this was going to be a relationship?
I pursued Derek.
She did, but it was crazy though. So I was chilling. I get a DM, and she was like, "Hey, I'm interested on getting into the studio." Automatically, I'm one of those people. Like, if you want to work, let's do it.
What was your first impression of her when she's
about her business?
Okay.
Yeah. After that, I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the show with me?" And he was like, he couldn't come. I was like, "Dang!"
I was trying to keep it business.
Shot
You were trying to keep it business.
What?
I got business.
See, keep it business.
That was a shot?
Yeah, well, let's see what you guys think. What do you feel about liking somebody who you work with? Do you keep it professional, or are you like, well, I might as well go ahead and shoot my shot and see what can happen? How do you maneuver in that situation? 800-292-5150. If you like somebody that you're working with, how do you go from being professional to maybe meeting the person that is your soulmate? All right, 800-292-5150.
Yeah, what's happening? You want to know my name?
Way Up with Angela Yee.
Turn me on.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. B-Dot's here.
My name is B-Dot.
Yo, yo, yo.
And we are talking about dating a coworker or somebody that works at the same company as you. Maybe it's not a coworker. Maybe you're their boss. But how do you maneuver in that type of situation? Is it strictly business at work, or should you shoot your shot? Here is what Derek Milano and Black China, a.k.a. Angela White, had to say on Lip Service.
I pursued Derek.
She did, but it was crazy though. So I was chilling. I get a DM, and she was like, "Hey, I'm interested on getting into the studio." Automatically, I'm one of those people. Like, if you want to work, let's do it.
What was your first impression of her when she's
about her business?
Okay.
Yeah. After that, I was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the show with me?" And he was like, he couldn't come. I was like, "Dang!"
I was trying to keep it business.
Shot.
You were trying to keep it business.
What?
I got business.
All right, what are your thoughts, B-Dot?
I think you gotta let love rule, man. You gotta compartmentalize your feelings, I guess, when you're in the workplace. But it happens all the time, right?
It does. Because sometimes people spend so much time at work, and that's the people who they're closest to, that it's hard not to.
But it happens, like Joe and Miko on MSNBC. They're married, you know, and I never understood why they fired T.J. Holmes and the white woman that he was with, Amy.
Well, I think they were having an affair, Amy. But I think it was just a distraction is what they felt like, because he was married, she was married.
It's not a distraction. It's content, man.
I mean, I don't know. I can't. You know, some places do have policies, though. And if you violate those policies, then I mean, I've worked places where you're not supposed to date. And sometimes you're right, it does happen.
How can you legislate that? How can you police someone's
When
feelings?
you have a private company, you can say, and that's when you have to keep it, you know, private. But I think with them, and you know, listen, clearly it's working out for them. So they're probably each other's soulmates. But if you're on TV every day together, and then there's like all this, you know, salacious stuff happening.
I think it looks good. I think it's good for TV. It's good entertainment, you know. So it just depends on your profession, I guess.
It could be. I have never dated anybody who I worked with, except when I worked at Macy's when I was in college.
What happened at Macy's?
I dated somebody like it was a summer job.
Oh, okay.
And so that was the only time. I don't think it really mattered, you know. But I believe... And you guys could, Dan, maybe. I think I keep like a clear like separation. I don't think I'm at work. I'm never very like a flirtatious person, or I always, when I come to work, I look at people like that's my coworker. Yeah. Just like I would look at my friends and their boyfriends and be like, that's her boyfriend. Like I don't even look at people like that if I know that's not a thing. What do you think, Dan?
About
my
you
producer?
specifically?
I think I'm pretty professional.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm professional in other ways, but when it comes to that, I'm very professional.
You're also in a relationship.
Yeah, I'm like always in a relationship.
Right.
Serial dater.
No, I'm not.
Erica Kane.
All right, well, I want to know what you guys think. 800-292-5150. Mike, how do you maneuver if you want to date a coworker? Do you keep it professional, or are you like, what's up?
You know, I actually been married to my wife for 16 years. We met in the Army. We were coworkers. I was higher ranking slightly, and I was hesitant at first because, you know, it's a rank structure, but eventually it worked out. So I think in a work environment, you have to be careful because some people really don't know how to approach someone in that area. So you just kind of make sure that it's a mutual agreement.
I love that. Instead of dropping and giving her 50, you gave her a ring.
No, she got 50 first.
I know, because look, if it doesn't work out, it also could be so awkward.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the thing. You have to take all of that into consideration. But I was very professional about it, so I approached him when we were not at work, and I just kind of let him know how I felt, and then we've been married for 16.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for calling and sharing that with us, and congrats to you guys for a long, successful marriage.
Giving them a 21-gun salute.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Sean, talk to me about liking somebody who you work with. How do you maneuver around that, or is it a big no-no?
Today I'll say no, because, you know, you have to be professional today. You know, a lot of bosses, you know, might not go for that, you know. So, I mean, you can lose your job today.
You can. You get a lawsuit.
I ain't gonna lie, the old me, I'm shooting my shot, the old me. But the new me today, though, nah, we not shooting no shots, though. We want to keep it professional, you know, because you got haters. You got people that might like the person that you shooting at.
Where
you know,
do you work?
I mean, I run my own business, marketing agency,
okay,
and investing and stuff like that. So I'm doing a hiring today.
Yeah, because that's worse if you a boss and now you got people working under you, and then imagine you date somebody, but then they're like, I only did it because, you know, I felt like I had to.
Right. So that's why I say keep it professional today.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze, man.
Where do you get these phrases from? It's a walking cliche. All right, well, thank you for calling. All right, well, thank you guys for calling in. Make sure you check out that lip service episode. That's Black China and Derek Milano. It's super cute. A lot of love in the air. All right, and when we come back, we have your Yeetie, and let's talk about Shannon Sharp and Keke Palmer. That's a fun sit down. Yeah. It's way up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yee tea. Come and get the tea.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. My guy B-Dot's here.
My name's B-Dot. That's me.
All right, and let's get into some Yeeties. So, Tyler, the Creator, they have this email pitch that he was sending to labels November 27th, 2008. That's when this was. So how many years ago is it now?
16
years ago.
Yeah.
He said, I know you're like, what the F is this? I'm 17 and just released an album for my mixtape. I compose my music and rap. The tape includes other young Fs my age that rap and produce. I produce most of it. If you like Stereolab, The Neptunes, Eminem, or just new-ish, you really should check it out. It's not on any I'm Trying to Be Different, 808 Heartbreak crap, or any My Swag Is So Fly-ish, just crazy piano chords over FU lyrics. So please give it a shot. And then he at the end said, sorry for the weak side. I made it and ish on low budget. Haha.
Yeah.
Brand. He's the same person.
I used to get emails like that when you were on rapradar.com. Russ actually sent the email to that.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah, we
You know what's funny? When an artist had DM'd you like years before, and then when you hit them up again or they DM you again, you realize, oh wow, this person emailed me
right
like mad long ago.
It always reminds me of when you it broke Drake on Sirius. Remember that?
Oh, Don't Quit Your Day Job? Yeah.
That was good times.
That was super early before he was signed.
Right.
All right. Now, Keke Palmer was on Club Shay Shay. She's always a time, too. Keke is a good Keke. Let's be clear. And she talked about different things like being the breadwinner for her family. Here's some things that we don't even think about, the pressure that's like. Here's what she said.
Our parents, at their best, made $40,000 a year. I was making that a show.
Keke, you know it's not normal that a child is the provider of the family.
Yes.
Did you realize what was on Keke's shoulder?
Yes, I did. I wore it like armor. I would do it again for my family.
Yeah, her family did sacrifice a lot for her, and she talks about that too, the balance of, it's a lot of pressure, but it's also like they have to sacrifice for you to get to that point too.
Yeah, 40,000 is a lot.
There's nothing like being able to take care of your family though.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
I wouldn't know.
Soon you will. All right. She also went on there and had a good time talking about, remember when Shannon Sharp's sex tape?
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, what, like the audio from him having sex or whatever, which, by the way, I feel like that got swept under the rug quick. It did. But anyway, here's what this was like.
I experienced the same thing, in another movie that I did where the guy was, I was 17 and he was like 27.
You like him older, huh?
That's what Michelle said.
Oh, no. Come on, Keke.
Shannon Sharp makes
Michelle was the woman who was allegedly on that recording with him.
Shannon Sharp makes me laugh every time he talks. He sounds like a
every time.
He sounds like a sharecropper.
Stop it. But let's not discount the fact that people go up there and feel quite comfortable.
They do.
To talk about whatever. All right, congratulations to designer and his girlfriend Joycey. They are expecting. Okay. They had a gender reveal.
Are they having a panda?
Stop it. So congratulations to the two of them. So yes, he's having a son.
Are you going to give him something from the registry?
A little baby boy designer. I like designer and Joycey. That's my girl too. So
okay.
Yes, we should definitely.
Angela will be at the baby shower.
I felt like I missed it. Oh, that was just a gender reveal.
Okay.
So yeah, I missed the gender reveal. I've never been to a gender reveal.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, now this story really upset you.
Yes.
You came in here today and was like, did you see what happened with T.I.?
It was troubling.
Well, T.I. was going to get into a restaurant in Austin, Texas, so he thought, and the bouncer at the door would not let him in because he did not have his ID on him.
Man.
All right, here's what happened as T.I. was leaving and confronting the bouncer who turned him away.
This sucker right here talking about I need some ID to get in somewhere. Any with some shoes like that ain't gonna keep me out of nowhere, man. Wear them peppermint shoes. This man got on a Walmart Versace shirt with them Ross pants.
Clearly, his ID wasn't the only thing that was getting checked at the door. You all have these humbling moments.
Well, the bouncer was like kind of playing along with it too.
Yeah, maybe. But he's just doing his job, man.
I will say this though. Sometimes what's really extra is he's old enough.
Right.
Like the whole point of you having to check ID is if it gets raided and they're like, this person shouldn't be in here, they're underage. T.I.'s old enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. It's a little ridiculous sometimes because I've also seen them like ID me and then not somebody else. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you can't, come on.
Well, you still get carded, Angela.
I do sometimes, but that's the policy.
Right.
At certain places. But if it's T.I. and you know that he is of age, because that's the whole point of ID.
You might not.
Like, are you 21?
He might. Some of these guys age differently these days, So maybe he didn't know who T.I. was.
T.I. was 15. Like, I don't know, sir. You don't look on it. And especially if you could pull it up online and be like, look, that's me right here. That's my age. That's extra. I'm sorry. I get that he's doing his job, but it's like, come on. All right, well, that is your Yeezy. When we come back, Under the Radar, these are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar, but you definitely need to know about it anyway. It's way up.
watching the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
Uh-oh. Breaking news and under the radar.
Breaking news.
It's me and B-Dot here.
My name is B-Dot.
That's right.
All right. Justice Smollett, his 2021 conviction over that alleged fake assault in Chicago has been overturned. They overturned the legal consequences that he faced and suffered due to the high-profile incident. It was a very surprise ruling for the Illinois Supreme Court. People are shocked. This just happened.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, they said, we are aware that this case has generated significant public interest and that many people were dissatisfied with the resolution of the original case and believed it to be unjust. Nevertheless, what would be more unjust than the resolution of any one criminal case would be a holding from this court that the state was not bound to honor agreements upon which people have detrimentally relied.
So he got off basically.
It's a technicality.
Well, technically, he still lied.
The jury found him guilty in December of 2021 on 5 felony charges, including lying to the police about this hate crime attack. They also, by the way, cited decisions in Bill Cosby's case in reference to this. So he had claimed that he was the victim of this assault. But I guess originally they can't just go ahead and convict him on something when these charges were dropped previously. So they said he had been charged after entering into a non-prosecution agreement with the Cook County State Attorney.
I remember that case.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing is, the law is the law. If they already told you this and now they're overturning this. And this is what he had hoped for. People thought that it wasn't going to happen, but he went and he made it happen. So congratulations to Justice Smollett.
I guess.
Yeah.
Stay out those Chicago streets.
Mm-hmm. And listen, he still maintains that this did happen, all right? Because the Chicago Police Department said that he recruited the brothers to help him stage this attack. He has denied those claims. He said that there was no hoax and that he was truly attacked that night. So no matter what, he has stuck to his story and now got this case overturned. Speaking of which, somebody else who is trying to fight for his rights and justice, Carlos Watson, is going to be joining us later on in the show. He has a case that people need to be paying attention to because he's facing up to 37 years in prison after founding Ozzy Media and investing his own money into this company, but then, being found guilty of fraud. He's going to tell you what exactly is going on behind the scenes. We also have the Way Up mix at the top of the hour, so let's do it. It's Way Up.
Out like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way Up.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. B-Dot's here.
My name is B-Dot.
That's right.
All right, and Future has spoken about Drake and Kendrick Lamar's feud. He was in GQ with Metro Boomin, and he said there was a beef. I didn't even know there was a beef. I didn't know they had nothing going on. I ain't never participated in rap battles, man. But he did continue to talk about it, right? And he said he was just joking, but he also did say that he's still confused by the fallout from Kendrick's, the big three, it's just Big Me.
Right.
And he said that he belongs in that big three conversation as well. He said he's supposed to be the one who gets mad.
I think Future has a case, man. He's been putting numbers on the board up for a while, so.
He's been quite consistent, too. And then I also feel like when he drops, he don't got to do no interviews. He just does what he does and keeps it moving.
It's in a conversation for sure.
Lives his life privately. We don't find out about stuff until other people tell us.
Yep.
It's never him. All right. Well, in addition to that, Metro Boomin talked about his fallout with Drake. He said it was due to personal issues that really hurt and disappointed him. He said, not over no girl or nothing silly like that. It was a personal issue. If you take all the rap entertainment out of it, it's like, have you ever been real cool with somebody and y'all fell out over something? It happens every day. It's just regular-ish. It just happens to have an audience.
Yeah. Well, it's been brewing for a long time now.
What is their beef over then?
I don't know. We got to ask. Let's call Drake up and ask him.
You can do that. I don't know if you still can.
I don't know.
All right. Now, speaking of beef, Shabuzi fans are beefing right now. Now, it's interesting that Shabuzi's had such an amazing year, and his fans have taken to social media to express how frustrated they are about him losing in the Single of the Year category at the CMA Awards. And, the song, a bar song, Tipsy, 18 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's just 1 week away from tying with Lil Nas X's Old Town Road featuring Billy Ray Cyrus for longest #1 hit. And definitely feels like he got robbed.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy, man. What's going on
that award? But nothing like your fans writing for you like that, right?
Right.
All right, now Denzel is on the cover of Esquire. Denzel's been doing amazing interviews lately.
Doing a lot of press.
You could tell he's like, after I do 8 more movies, I'm done. But the things that he talked about is that he's not a gangster. He said those characters I played in Training Day and American Gangster, it might look like they were close to me, and I could tell you they were, but I wasn't no gangster. I ran with them real gangsters down there, but I was not then. He said, so let me not tell that lie to you. I had one foot in the streets, but I ain't no killer. I can't think of a single role where I would say, man, that's me. Entirely me. He also talked about not having a lot of actor friends. He said family friends, sure, like Sam Jackson, his wife and Pauletta go way back, and he and I go all the way back to A Soldier's Play in 1981. But now when I make a movie, I'm not trying to make friends. We rap, I'm trying to go home. But yeah, he doesn't consider people necessarily his friends. And then he said, when he lost the Oscar to Kevin Spacey in 2000, he said, I think I had won the Golden Globe for Hurricane, but at the Oscars, they called Kevin Spacey's name for American Beauty. He said, I have a memory of turning around and looking at him, and nobody was standing but the people around him, and everyone else was looking at me.
He did get robbed for Malcolm X, too. He should have gotten an Oscar for that.
And he said, I don't want to sound like, oh, he won my Oscar or anything like that. It wasn't like that. And they was talking the town about what was going on over there on that side of the street, and that's between him and God. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I pray for him. That's between him and his maker.
They wouldn't give Kevin Spacey a cup of water nowadays.
And he said he stopped voting for the Oscars around that time. He said from 1999 to 2014, he said, I was bitter. So.
Wow. He got robbed.
Right. But you know what? It's nice for him to be able to look back at that time in retrospect and talk about what was going on.
Right.
Because we never hear Denzel.
He's promoting this movie, man.
He about to start a podcast. No. All right. Well, that is your Yee Tea. When we come back, we have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150. Any questions you have, any advice you need, we're here to help you out. That's 800-292-5150. Oh, this is our joint right here.
Hey.
Yeah, glow. It's way up.
Everybody access. Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
You should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. B-Dot's here.
Yep.
And it's time for Ask
My name's
Yee.
B-Dot.
And we have D on the line. What's good, D?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
So what is your question for Ask Yee?
I'm a woman that's like in her 30s, and I have an older guy that we've been friends for the past 15 years, but I'm dating a younger guy, and it's not going too good. So
How much younger?
Like 5 years.
So it's not going too well. Why?
He's like immature a little bit.
Okay. So what's the problem?
Well, the older is more caring and giving and understanding, where the younger guy, when he wants to be messed with, and he wants to be messed with. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he want to give his time when he wants to be bothered, or...
Okay, so are you trying to choose between them? Because it sounds like neither one of them is right.
She's torn.
Yeah.
You can't choose from the best of the worst. It might be time for a reset.
How much older is the other guy?
Like 15, 20 years older.
Yeah, it feels to me like neither one of them is right. You have complaints about both of them. You don't sound enthusiastic about either one of them. So why are you with them?
Well, I'm with the younger guy, and I was trying to get out, because normally I'm with older, because I think they're more mature and can do more, but...
It's not working.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you tried it. It didn't work.
I would like companionship.
But the right companionship, right?
Yes, correct.
All right. Well, it feels like neither one of these is the right companionship for you. And let me tell you, you're not going to find the right person messing around with all the wrong people.
That's a bar.
Right.
It's time consuming. It kind of blocks you from being able to see the right, to get with the right person. It doesn't keep you open-minded for those things. Why waste your time?
You're right.
You don't have to be in the relationship for the sake of being in one. The worst is being in an unhappy relationship. I'd rather not be with anybody than be unhappy.
That's right.
And holidays are coming up. You're going to have to want somebody to come with you.
Yeah, holidays are, you think she should wait?
Yeah.
Wait after Thanksgiving.
No, and honestly, just wait until you get the right person. Don't be with somebody just for the sake of being with someone.
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you guys.
All right, no problem. All right, well, that was Ask Yee, 800-292-5150. Any question is a good question.
Yep.
We don't discriminate. All right, and when we come back, we have Carlos Watson joining us. He is the founder of WUWY Media, but he's also facing up to 37 years in prison.
Damn.
And what we're trying to decide right now and what we want you to see is if this whole conviction is a targeted conviction or what his punishment should be. When you hear about what happened and when you hear about the players in this, the judges' ties, all of those things, you're going to rethink what you heard in the media. So it's important for you to get this information firsthand. We'll be talking to Carlos Watson. It's Way Up.
Look.
Yeah, what's happening?
You want to know my name?
Way Up with Angela Yee.
Turn me on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm with my guy, D. Watkins, and we have Carlos Watson on the line. How are you feeling today, Carlos?
You know, I'm good. I'm blessed. It's obviously a difficult time, but I'm here, and I'm glad to be with you.
All right. Well, we want to make sure people are very educated on what's going on here. So you're the founder of WUWY Media. Tell us what you envisioned when you created WUWY Media.
You know, I started almost 10 years ago. Started with my mom and my dad. So we started it here in California. I'd worked in media at CNN, MSNBC, CNBC. So together we came up with the idea for a news company that wouldn't kind of recycle the same headline stories, but would find up-and-comers. So whether it was an up-and-coming politician, basketball player, writer, actor, we wanted to introduce you to, you know, the next Elon Musk and the next LeBron James. And so that's how we started WUWY. That was the vision, a bold new platform that would surface what we called the new and the next.
What was some of the biggest successes you had with WUWY in those early days?
There were a bunch. You know, I loved introducing people to a young comedian from South Africa before people knew Trevor Noah. I still remember the piece we did on a bartender before she was AOC. I still remember Issa Rae coming to Ozzy Fest before she was doing Insecure. I remember this California high school athlete before he was Aaron Judge. So I think our team, we had a team of reporters, D, all over the world whose job it was to find things before they showed up on NPR or on X or on other places. And so they were really good at it.
And you started the festival as well, the Ozzy Fest. See, I just want to set the stage on what was happening at Ozzy before things ended up going left, right? Because this was a platform that was built legitimately, and then things did end up taking a left turn. Right now, you're at home. I wanted you to come in the studio, but you're like, I can't travel right now.
Correct. As you said, things were growing and going. I was very proud of what we were doing. Around 2019, we were doing so well, Angela, that some of our competitors wanted to buy us. One of the folks who was most serious about it was BuzzFeed. But even as they increased the offers, the first one was $125 million, then $170, then $225 million, $250, $300. You know, I had a moment, at that point my mom had passed, but I had a moment with my dad where he was like, do you want to do this? Is that the right way to do it? Or do we want to keep building? And we wanted to build something that we thought could be around for a long time. And so we decided not to do it. And, you know, on the other side of that, the folks who tried to buy us, when they couldn't buy us, got angry about it. And 18 months later, the guy went to the New York Times, and while at the New York Times, wrote lies about us, smeared us, and almost took us under. And we found ourselves last year on the other side of an indictment. They indicted both me and they indicted the company, which is really unusual. I mean, just to give you a sense of how unusual it is to indict not just a person, but a company. They didn't indict FTX. They didn't indict Weinstein Company. They didn't even indict Enron. And so we knew that there was something fishy, besides the fact that the people who indicted me are in Brooklyn. And as you know, Angela, I don't live there. I don't have an office there. I don't have anything to do with Brooklyn, even though I like it. I live in California. So it was suspicious from the beginning. And as you're saying, after a trial this past summer, I'm at home.
D. Watkins is here with me, and we are talking to Carlos Watson, the founder of WUWY Media. Carlos Watson has been convicted of securities fraud conspiracy, wire fraud conspiracy, and identity theft. We'll talk more about what happened and the connections that the judge had to Goldman Sachs. When we come back, it's Way Up.
Yeah, let's go.
Turn me up. Here we go again.
This is Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with journalist D. Watkins, and we're talking to Carlos Watson, the founder of WUWY Media, who's also been convicted of securities fraud conspiracy, wire fraud conspiracy, identity theft. Carlos, I want to ask you this because you are facing up to 37 years, right, when you get sentenced. So what can be done between now and then? I know right now you have the troubling case of Carlos Watson, whose son is next. right? And so we watched that on YouTube, and people can watch that and see more in depth everything that's been happening in the courtroom. You have one juror who said that she was the lone person that thought you were not guilty, and what happened to her when she tried to voice her opinion and how she wasn't quite sure and didn't understand what was going on, what this case was about. What is your hope now as we're waiting? Is it you're hoping for a shorter sentence? Is there anything that can be done now that you have been found guilty?
I am hoping for what my sister calls an explosive miracle. It wasn't a fair prosecution and it wasn't a fair trial. The judge in this case acted, Harvard law professor Ron Sullivan, who's overturned more wrongful convictions than anyone in history, called my trial the most egregious railroad he's seen in 30 years. He excluded our witnesses. The government put on 25 witnesses. We asked to put on 30, including Aussie investors, Aussie executives, Aussie lawyers, Aussie clients. He allowed 3, Angela. We asked to put in 777 pieces of evidence, including Samir Rao's confessions, including the analysis of the Yankees' former CFO, who said not only did Aussie not inflate its revenue, if anything, it understated it. He interrupted us. He called our lawyers crazy. And then he ultimately gave the jurors incorrect instructions. He basically said, if you think anything that happened in that company was untrue, you can sentence that guy to 20 years. Angela, who could pass that test?
Right.
I know Dia said some stuff that probably wasn't true. Should he go to jail for 20 years? And that is what Miss Brown-Simons was saying, until a white juror literally stood over her and, in her words, went nuclear. What would have happened if Miss Brown-Simon was a white juror and some brothers stood over her and screamed at her and made her vote guilty? You don't think we'd be stopping the presses right now?
And who was on that? Who was on that jury?
Guess how many black men were on that jury?
Zero.
In Brooklyn.
Zero.
How many white men were on that jury?
7.
You live in Brooklyn, Angela. How is that possible?
Right.
How can you have a jury of my peers, D, where there's 7 white men and 0 of us? How does that happen? Where they are winking at the prosecution, literally winking.
I'm with journalist D. Watkins, and we're talking to the founder of Aussie Media, Carlos Watson. He's facing 37 years in prison.
Think about what 37 years is, D. I mean, just so that we're really clear, they are arguing that there was a fraud in which people lost millions of dollars. Elizabeth Holmes, D, they argue lost $2 billion. They gave her 11 years. You're saying that Mr. Watson, actually no one lost money, but Mr. Watson could have led people to lose 50 million and he's going to get 37, and this white woman stole $2 billion with a fake blood machine and she gets 11 years? The average murderer, Angela, gets 16 and a half years. They're saying, well, they're going to give me 2 times as though I committed double murder. D, Bernie Madoff served 13 years, $50 billion thing. They're saying, I'm more worried about this guy.
Normally we would have last word here, but when we come back, we have more with Carlos Watson, the founder of Aussie Media. He's facing up to 37 years in prison for wire fraud, securities fraud, identity theft. But before he gets sentenced, he wants us to look at the many conflicts that he says that the judge had while he presided over the trial. It's way up.
Turn it up. You vibing way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here. Journalist D. Watkins is here. We're talking to Carlos Watson, who's the founder of Aussie Media. He's currently facing 37 years in prison. He's been convicted of identity theft, securities fraud conspiracy, and wire fraud conspiracy. Does it concern you that, being that you haven't been sentenced yet, that the judge could see this and this could make things worse?
How much worse can 37?
I know, but what I'm saying is because...
I mean, just real talk. If people don't stand up to... There's a young brother named Rashawn Russell who they did this to in Brooklyn last year. I want everybody who cares about this, who thinks this is Carlos Watson bull, look up the name Rashawn Russell. 22 years old, first in his family to go to college, went to Babson, working hard, was trading Bitcoins like a lot of other young kids. And at the end of the day, they want to say that he was running a fraud. Really? Because he was trading a little bit of Bitcoin? You're going to give him 15 years? And they're doing this with our taxpayer money.
Do you feel like people aren't covering this the way that they should be?
100%. You and I both know, Angela, that if I were white and I was running a media company that was healthy and hired people, and someone in Brooklyn tried to prosecute me, and it's like you getting prosecuted, Angela, by Utah. I don't live in Brooklyn. I never had an office there. I never had clients there. I didn't have nothing to do with that except Ben Smith, the white guy who wanted to buy me, and his dad, who is a judge. Did I tell you that Ben Smith's dad is a judge? You think all this is accidental? What I'm saying to people is, if we allow them to keep snuffing out black excellence, I promise you it won't stop with me. And so, Angela, in terms of what they could do, they should reach out today to their senators, to whether it's Gillibrand, whether it's Cory Booker, whether it's Dick Durbin, whether it's Lindsey Graham, and they need to say enough. Because again, it's not just about me, because I guarantee you, the minute they put me in that cage, they are going to send a celebratory note around to every office D, and I promise you they are going to open up 100, 200 more cases. I promise you they will. And so I just have to keep praying that this isn't the end of the story.
I'm with journalist Dee Watkins, and we're talking to the founder of Ozzy Media, Carlos Watson. He's facing 37 years in prison. I'm grateful that we had a chance to do this just because I know there's some articles online, and we want to make sure we hear, though, from you, directly. And I know you have this documentary that people can watch, The Troubling Case of Carlos Watson, whose son is next. But I just do think it's important for people to hear what's going on from you, because there's some very unflattering articles, and you were able to discuss the ins and outs, why certain things may be framed the way that they have been, and really help us understand this overall.
The one other brief ray of sunshine I should tell you is that my lawyers went to the Second Circuit and pointed out that the judge in my case owns millions of dollars of stock in Goldman and Google and the companies involved. And not only didn't tell us, but did the opposite, said that he had no conflicts. And when we found it out last month and we raised it, he now is trying to say, too bad, too sad, too late. And we're saying, that's not okay that your best friend was in charge of part of the investigation. That's not okay that you co-invest with these companies, literally billions of dollars. It's not okay that you still have millions in stock in these companies. That's a problem. Everyone, including me, deserves a fair trial. And he got nervous when we went over his head to the Second Circuit. So the one thing that could happen here is those judges could step forth and they could say, you know what? This is not okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be following this really closely and carefully.
And bless you. Dee, thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you both.
You can watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up With Yee. And of course, when you see the clips, if there's any more questions, if anybody wants to do any more outreach, get some media done, we will have that information posted on each clip. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow. And don't forget, Thanksgiving is next week. So make sure whatever you're planning to do, you get all those orders in now, like I'm trying to do. It's Way Up.